I've done demonstrations where I've shot walls, and that always brings up the debate over insulation and its value as a bullet stop. Well, I worked in the construction field for several years. One of my crew is a licensed general contractor, and what I can tell you about insulation is that here in the United States, there are some exceptions, but for the most part, houses, duplexes, smaller apartment complexes are made of a 2x6 and or 2x4 frame, siding, usually particle board, maybe some plywood, and sheetrock walls. And the interior walls of these structures are rarely insulated with anything, only the exterior walls are. Again, there's some exceptions. And although there are a lot of different insulation products on the market, what is by far the most common is this stuff right here, this pink fiberglass with the paper backing, and it comes in various thicknesses. And there are people who strenuously assert that this stuff is some kind of bullet stop. Well, let's put that to the test. So what I've got here is 3 thicknesses of this R13 insulation, which is more than what's going to be in just about any wall. Now this isn't going to stop high-powered stuff like your M14 or your AK-47. So let's start with a small handgun of mediocre power. Now this is my Colt model 1908 in caliber 25 ACP, and I've got it loaded with Hornady Critical Defense 35 grain jacketed hollow points, and we'll shoot from 7 yards. Well, that was interesting, but you don't want to hang your hat on the results of just one shot, so we'll try it again. And we'll shoot from 7 yards again, and I'll make sure the bullet doesn't go through the same hole. And there you have it. I think we can pretty safely say that insulation is not a bullet stop. However, will an insulated wall have a more enhanced bullet stopping ability than a non-insulated wall? Will this stuff help at all? Let's see if we can test that. So here's what we'll do. I've got my Smith & Wesson M&P Compact 9mm, and it's loaded with Winchester White Box 115 grain jacketed hollow point. We'll shoot a few rounds through the chronograph, get a mean average velocity, then repeat that with some insulation in front of the chronograph, and we'll be able to determine to what degree does the insulation slow the bullet down. $11.13, $11.21, $11.03, $10.66, $10.98. Now let's try that with the insulation. Now we'll try with our insulation in place. 1,081, 1,099, 1,081, 1,070, 1,074. Now let's go crunch the numbers. Well, we crunched the numbers, and how'd we do? First, there's a few caveats. There are a lot of things that can influence the velocity of a particular type of ammunition. Barrel length of the gun you're using being the biggest one. But sometimes you'll have different guns all with the same barrel length that will give you different velocities out of the same ammo. Also, things like elevation, ambient temperature, barometric pressure can all, to varying minor degrees, affect your velocity. So the numbers I get here today might not be the same numbers that somebody else gets somewhere else on a different day. But the numbers we got were, just shooting through the chronograph with our M&P Compact, a mean average of 1,100 feet per second, 1,100 feet per second. Shooting through our 3 layers of R13 insulation, which again is more than what would be in just about any wall, we got a mean average of 1,081, a net loss of 19 feet per second. That's within the margin of error. We can't determine for sure that it slowed the bullet down at all, certainly not in any meaningful way. So the bottom line would be, is insulation a bullet stop? No. Does it significantly retard the progress of a bullet? No, not at all. And the real bottom line would be that when you see demonstrations where someone's shooting through a wall, of siding, sheetrock, so forth, and the question comes up, well, was that wall insulated? The answer would be, it doesn't matter. So as always, don't try this at home. I'm what you call a professional, and thanks for watching the Insulation as a Bullet Stop video.